and welcome to the Quick Kick Picks presented by Burrows Talking Soccer. I am Christian Knittel here with my brother Matthew over there. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Christian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I just saw Joker, so that was really intense and dark. So really trying to come down from that experience. Matt, you're probably coming down from your weekend league experience over there with FIFA. So both having some dark days around here. Yeah, I think we're gonna hop right into it. It's match week 8 in the Premier League. So we're gonna be talking about our predictions, and we want to hear about your guys' predictions. So let us know either below the video on Twitter, let us know all the score predictions, or below this video on YouTube, and we will combine all your score predictions, and the winner. Just actually let us know your score predictions. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do with the scoring, whether it's going to be a cumulative month score or if we're going to be doing weekly prizes. Wow, I'm really struggling to speak here. Matt, you look very confused. What's going on over there? Or are you just listening?
We just got big things in the works.
People. Yeah, we're really working, Dave, Matt, and I, and yeah, we want to hear what your score predictions are as well. The way the scoring works for each game is if you get the home team score right, you get a point. If you get the away team score right, you get a point. If you get the result of the match correct, you get a point. So win, draw, or loss. And Matthew, you want to tell everybody what they get if you get all 3 of those correct?
You get 2 bonus points to a grand total of 5 points.
Yeah, so 50 points up for grabs on most match weeks when all teams are playing. Matt, are you ready to hop into our first match here?
Yeah.
Let's hop. All right. So we got our first match here is going to be Brighton hosting Spurs at the Amex Stadium. Matt, what's happening in this game?
Yeah, so Spurs, they're off to a slow start, but Brighton's recent form is not helping them very much. Tottenham, I think with the talent they have, they haven't looked dominant at all. We get the table. They're still in 6th, which isn't bad for how bad they've looked. They're 1 point outside of the top 4. So, and they have the goal difference too. So it's not like it's going that poorly. They just don't look great right now. On the road, it's not like they've been good at home. So I think regardless of the game, they just have more talent. They get wins on the road, and they drop points at home. It makes no sense, but I think Tottenham's going to win this one 3-1.
Okay, yeah. On the road, it's going to be more difficult for Tottenham. They definitely haven't shown a lot of confidence, and after getting blown out in midweek by Bayern Munich at home, their confidence has to be rock bottom. I know there's been a lot of rumors going around about training room or locker room bust-ups between players, so we don't really know what's happening behind the scenes, but it clearly looks like Eriksen doesn't want to be there. I don't know what the starting lineup's going to be. We don't see that. We predict these scores a day in advance, so we do not see lineups, but Tottenham definitely have the more talented squad. Brighton have only won 1 game on the season. They got 3 draws and 3 losses, so they're not doing too hot. They're pretty low in the table right now. They're probably expected to be around where they are, fighting in relegation zone. Spurs, on the other hand, are expected to be fighting for, I don't know if they're fighting for the title, but definitely for at least 3rd position. I think that they've started incredibly shockingly poorly as opposed to some of the other teams in the league. And to be honest, other than the top 2, everyone kind of looks inconsistent. They have to win this game to really announce themselves as a top 4 team. And I think I'm going to go with Spurs win this game 2-1 on the road. Matt, anything else you would like to add?
No.
All right, so we're going to move over to the Burnley versus Everton, the 10 a.m. kickoff on October 5th. This one is a tough match because Burnley's just hard-nosed football, soccer, is very, very tough to play against. Everton have not started the season all that great. They have had moments where they look really good. They have obviously a very talented roster. They weren't able to get any points against City at home in their last match, but that's nothing to really scoff at. I think that they have the team this year that can cause a lot of problems to top 6 teams. And when you play against Burnley, you never know what you're going to get. They can play really, really hard-nosed and just get results at times, specifically at home. I think Burnley actually are going to win this game. I think Everton have shown signs that they aren't really gelling yet. And I think we still have maybe a month or two before we really see the full force of all those transfers they've brought in. I'm going to go with a Burnley. I think I'm going to go with a hard-nosed 1-0 victory for Burnley in this one. Matt, what do you think's happening?
Yeah, so I think Everton has looked a little bit better in recent weeks. I know they started a little poor, a lot worse than I think a lot of people's expectations. But Burnley, look at their results. I mean, after the 3-0 win opening weekend at home against Southampton, they haven't really looked that great. Their only other win is against Norwich. I think that was like a 2-0 victory, but they have a lot of draws. It's not like I think they're really pulling away wins. Everton, on the other hand, I like the way they're playing. It's not a must win. It's early in the season. They're not pushing for top 4 or things like that. But they just need to get things on track, and I think they're going to be able to do it, even though it's going to be on the road.
All right, and what's your score prediction for this one?
I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0 to Everton?
Yeah.
Wow, Matt really hates Burnley over there. He talks about it every week, and that is staying true. Anything else you would like to add?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to move over to our next 10 a.m. kickoff, which is going to be Liverpool hosting Leicester at Anfield. I think it's Matt first this time, isn't it? So, Matt, why don't you give us your prediction on this one?
I want Liverpool to drop points so bad. And Leicester is just like, they play the top 6, I think, really well. And it seems like all games they have are kind of close. They don't get blown away really ever. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a shock, but it is at Anfield. So I think this one's going to be close, but Liverpool, I mean, they got to drop points eventually, but I don't think it's going to be this week. I think they win this one 2-1.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to drop points eventually because it's unrealistic to think that they won't drop any points. And I honestly just don't know. They did not inspire confidence defensively in midweek with the Champions League match. They were up 3-0, threw it away, and just scored a late goal to end up winning that game 4-3 against a much inferior side. So I don't know what it's going to look like trying to defend Jamie Vardy, who has a lot of pace, and that's what they really struggled with in recent weeks. I think that they're going to have to create chances for Vardy because he's not someone who's going to create a chance on his own. But if you give him a through ball, which they have the talent to create those types of chances, he is lethal. And Liverpool have to step up defensively. In the attack, Liverpool obviously are firing on all cylinders. They're the second highest goal scoring team in the league behind City. You expect them to score goals in every match, specifically at Anfield. Last year, Leicester ended up getting a draw in this match. And I think it was January or February with the ground being icy, and it was a really weird match. It's not going to have that type of factor this time around, but I still think Liverpool just are able to see this one through. I can't expect a clean sheet because Liverpool aren't known for that this season, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory in the end for Liverpool. Matt, anything else you would like to add?
No, I don't think Liverpool's defense is too. I know they haven't looked great, but I mean, them and Leicester tied with the least goals allowed.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So on to our next match. We got Norwich hosting Aston Villa in a battle of the newly promoted teams at Carrow Road. I think this one is going to be a high-flying type of match. I think both teams are able to score goals, but both teams have not looked good defensively. So we could see a high-scoring matchup. I don't know if they're going to, just because they're playing each other and they're both newly promoted and both fighting relegation, if they're both going to be defensive and kind of negative. But I think these teams both know how to score goals. They don't really play that way. Even when they're playing the top teams in the league, you've seen them try and attack. So Norwich at home, I'm going to give them the slight edge here. Villa have not looked good on the road, other than in week 1 where they almost took points off of Spurs. I still think Norwich, with Timu Puki, if he's playing, we don't know the lineups, obviously, can make a big difference. And I'm going to go with a high-scoring game here in a 3-2 victory for Norwich. Matt, what do you think's happening?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be high-scoring. Both these teams are very offensive. So I think they're not offensive.
They're offensive.
Offensive-minded teams. And yeah, I don't expect either team to really hold back. I think both teams really want points, so they're just going to go for it. I do like Norwich's attack, I want to say, a little bit more. And that's why I like your scoreline 3-2 and being, them being home. I think that's a good scoreline.
Yeah, I just don't really have a lot of faith in Aston Villa right now. They've had moments this season where I think calls have gone against them, and they've had moments where they just have not looked that great, specifically defensively. And not that Norwich are really lighting it up, but I think that they have the ability to score goals and have more proven talent on their team right now. Anything else you'd like to add on this match, Matt?
No.
All right. So on to our next and final 10 a.m. game on Saturday, October 5th. We've got Watford hosting Sheffield United. Matt, what's happening in this one?
Yeah, so, the first, I want to say, 4 or 5 weeks. I think it was the first 4 weeks. I predicted Watford to do well and, show me something. And then the City match happened, and now I don't expect anything anybody on this team. Sheffield United, I like all the newly promoted sides and how they've kind of played. Sheffield's got some good results in this season. Watford sitting at bottom of the table. Their goal difference is horrendous right now. I don't think.
Wonder why.
I don't think they're going to be able to figure out. They're figure things out defensively. So I'm going to say Sheffield wins this one, 2-1 on the road.
Yeah, I think at some point, obviously, Watford are going to get a win, and I think it needs to come now so that they can escape. And I'm going to go with the fact that Watford are more desperate right now. And honestly, if you look on paper, they do have the more talented team. It is down to can they get their defense sorted, because they have the ability to score goals. They have some talented attackers in that squad. I don't know why they're not really playing that well. I'm not actually sure how many goals have they scored this year. I don't know if you have that up, but I think that they've scored a decent. No, not really. They've only scored 4 goals through 7 games. That's not really what you're looking for. But I still think that they have the ability to attack. They have the quality players, and 20 goals against through 7 games is absolutely abysmal. To almost 3 goals a game average. Yes, they have that 8-0 loss to City on their books, but still, you got to expect better from them. I think this is a game where they could finally sort that out a little bit. They still give up a goal, but they end up winning this game 2-1 in an emotional victory that they absolutely need. Sheffield have played well on the road so far. They won at Goodison, which was a shocked result, but I think Watford are more desperate for points than Sheffield right now. Anything else you want to add on this match, Matt?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to go over to our 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time kickoff on October 5th. It is West Ham hosting Crystal Palace. I think this one is one of the highlight games of the week. I think West Ham are really, really talented. I think they have put together quite the squad. I don't know how well they're going to do at the end of the season. They're currently sitting in 5th, which is way above what a lot of people probably predicted coming into the year. But I think they're easily a top half team. They are very, very good on their day. Crystal Palace are sitting in 9th right now, only 1 point behind West Ham, and can almost jump into 4th if results go their way. Palace, though, on the road, I just don't think that they've been that good over, the course of the past couple seasons, but this season they haven't really inspired a lot of confidence. West Ham at home, other than the opening day loss to City, have done pretty well, and I expect that to continue. They're going to be blowing bubbles, Matt, this week at the London Stadium, and I'm going to go with a 3. I'm going to go 3-0. I think Palace don't score in this one. Matt, what do you think happens?
Yeah, I think West Ham's defense is going to be able to keep a clean sheet. I see Crystal Palace only has 6 goals this season, averaging less than a goal a game. I like the way West Ham's playing. They only have 1 loss this season, and obviously that was at home to City. So can't really put too much stake into that. But Crystal Palace has performed a little bit better than I was expecting so far this season. I know it's early, but they look sharp defensively. I don't think West Ham's going to be able to score 3 on them. I think this is going to be a close game. Both teams are top half right now. I'm going to say 1-0 West Ham.
Wow, 1-0. Okay, that's a bold prediction. I think Palace's defense is not that strong right now, and West Ham do have creative attackers that can cause a lot of damage. 3-0 might be a little strong, but you know what? I'm going to stick with it because it's just my gut feeling, Matt, and you can't go against your gut. Anything else you want to add on this game?
No.
All right, so we're going to move over to our Sunday, October 6th games. First game is 9 a.m. kickoff, Eastern Standard Time. We got Arsenal hosting Bournemouth. Matt, what's happening in this game?
So Bournemouth started really well. I think 2 weeks ago they were like in the top 4 or top 6 or something like that. They dropped a little bit with their results. Arsenal, for as much heat as they're getting, they haven't looked too bad other than that Watford game where they were outshot by like almost 20 shots to, or maybe more than 20 shots to, the team that's in last place in the Premier League. I think they have bounced back. They had a Europa League win. They played pretty well against United last week, and they're coming off a couple other wins. So undefeated in their last 5 at home. I think they're going to win this one 3-1.
Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit tighter than that. I think Bournemouth have started really well. They've scored 13 goals already this year, which is more than Arsenal have scored, surprisingly. They've also conceded 12 goals, which is not a promising sign for only 7 games played. That's almost 2 goals given up a game. But Arsenal, on the other hand, have given up 11 goals. So I think we're going to see a bunch of goals in this game just because of those stats. We're seeing both teams score and give up goals. They have talented attackers, and both teams, you highlight their defense as the weak point. So I think both teams are going to come out and play that way, play that they know that they can score goals, know that they can beat the defenders. And I still think Arsenal are going to win this game, but it's going to be a much closer game. I'm going to go with a 4-2 victory where they score a ceiling goal late. They just have so much speed in that attack, and I don't think that Bournemouth's defense is up to that task. Matt, anything else you would like to add on this match?
Arsenal's unbeaten in 7, not just 5.
Wow. That's just incredible. Good job, Arsenal. All right, so on to our next match is another 9 a.m. kickoff on Sunday, October 6th. We have Man City hosting Wolves at the Etihad. I think this one is pretty clear cut who's going to win this match. I know KDB is ruled out of this game, which is a big loss for City, but I think Man City obviously have the talent to replace him at drop of a hat. They're missing a couple players, obviously 3 of their key players, if you count Sané, Laporte, and KDB being out. But I think Man City, just look at their roster. It's not even close. When you look at Wolves, you see, okay, there's some talented players, some Portuguese internationals, some other international players in there, but this is a completely different type of test going on the road to the Etihad, where the best team arguably in the world right now is playing. I think this is a blowout, probably in a 4. I'm going to give Wolves a goal here, but a 4-1 victory. Matt, what do you think's happening here?
Well, I think our defenses look better. I think City are able to keep a clean sheet. Wolves has had trouble scoring this season. I'm looking at all their previous matchups from last year, and all the games were pretty close other than the 3-0 City victory. Their last, 4 they played over the last couple of years have been really close. But I think it's just different this year. Wolves is struggling right now. I think they have 2 straight wins, and one in Europa League, one last week. But with that bad start this season, they don't necessarily have the best form. And City playing at home, we don't really lose there often. I want to say it's close, but I mean I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, I was between 3 and 4.
3-0.
Yeah, close 3-0. So you think there's going to be a couple late goals? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's just going to be close.
Oh, it's just going to be really close. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I think Wolves are a talented team, and they haven't started well, but yeah, they have only beaten Watford so far, which is not a promising sign. Yep. Anything else you want to add, Matt?
No.
All right, so on to our 1 more 9 a.m. kickoff. Just kidding. On Sunday, October 6th, we have got Southampton hosting Chelsea at St. Mary's. This one is very difficult for me to predict. I think Chelsea honestly have looked better on the road this season than they have at home. I don't know if it's that their fans are giving them pressure and they feel like they have to perform at a certain level that they're not up to right now. But on the road, I feel like there's a lot less pressure. They're able to counterattack a little bit more. Southampton have played decently well to start the year. I think that they're sitting... Where 14th. Are they sitting right now? 14th right now. So, I mean, a win, and they're tied on points with Chelsea, which is pretty... Oh, no, they're 1 point behind Chelsea. But it's very, very tight at that point. Chelsea have been blown out a couple of times, but they've recovered pretty well, especially with that Wolves victory. I think that this one Chelsea are going to sneak a win here. Southampton have played well. I think they took a point off of United right at home already. They could do it again against Chelsea. They lost to Liverpool, even though they played well against them. They only lost by 1. They've been playing well against the top 6 teams at home, and unfortunately, they played them all pretty early in the season. I think this one's going to be tight, but a 2-1 victory to Chelsea is how it's going to end up. Matt, what do you think's happening?
Yeah, Southampton, it did look like they did play the top teams pretty well. But yeah, all their games against top 6 teams have been within a goal. So I think that's been good for them, and being at home, I think that's another benefit for them. Chelsea, I think they are starting to come a little bit into form. I think it's 3 straight victories for them. I can't see them losing it, but I think it's going to be close, just like the rest of the Southampton games. I might say this one, I'm going to say 2-2.
Wow.
Yeah. Chelsea draw.
Southampton have looked better in recent weeks, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, especially because Chelsea have been pretty inconsistent this year. Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right, so our last game of match week, was it 8, right? Yeah, so we've got Newcastle hosting Manchester United on Sunday, October 6th at 11:30 a.m. Matt, what's happening in this game?
I don't know why I keep saying Manchester United is like looking decent on defense or offense when they're not really looking good on either. But I'm just going to keep speaking it until it happens. So United's been looking pretty good offensively and defensively, and I think they're going to beat Newcastle on the road because Newcastle has not looked good, especially offensively. So maybe actually United, I saw the stat. It's like they've won, what is it, like 4 of their last 20-something matches, and they've lost a crazy number of away games consecutively. I think that's got to end, especially because it's kind of made so public now. They kind of have to snap the streak, but I can't believe Ollie's still there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long, long time since we last saw United win on the road, and Newcastle is a tough place to go. What's up?
Score 2-1.
Okay, so I think 2-1 to who?
United.
Okay. I think that
Manchester United.
Okay, thanks. I think that Newcastle have the tools to cause United problems. I think defensively they can be pretty strong. They have the tools to play on the attack as well when they need to, but usually they're better when they're defending and counterattacking. United obviously want to play at a high speed, and they have players who want to get in behind and get shots away, but they have not looked very good in recent weeks. They've started the season shockingly poor as opposed to what their standard is and where they want to be. Yet they still are only 3 points behind. What is it? 12. 3 points behind 4th place, which is where they're probably aiming to be this year. This is a game that they need to win just to keep pace and not really have to play chase or catch up later, I guess I'll call it, not chase up. I think Newcastle, though, are able to get a point in this game. I'm going with a 1-1 draw for this one. Any other things you want to say, Matt, about this match?
No.
All right. Well, that was match week 8 in the Premier League. Matt, did you have fun here?
I had a blast. Christian, did you have fun here?
Matt, I couldn't have any more fun than we had. So that was the Quick Kick Picks brought to you by Bros Talking Soccer. Don't forget to leave your predictions in the comments below or on Twitter if that's where you're watching these videos. And anything else you want to say, Matt, before we head out of here?
Let's get some matches played.
Let's do it, Matt. Let's go get some.